Hello, Virgo. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. So, Virgo, y'all are supposed to be pulling in the power of the Dolly Parton. That's what I'm getting. I've had like this power of Dolly Parton going on and on the last, I don't know, like maybe the last 12 hours or so. So you ready? Tumble out of bed and stumble in the kitchen, pour myself a cup of ambition, yawn and stretch and try to come alive. That's just, I don't know why, but that's what I've got for you. It's just like it won't leave me alone. And as soon as I sat down, I'm looking at your card, Virgo, I'm ready to do it. That's the song. Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living. Getting by, it's no taking in, there's all taking in, no giving. I don't know, that's your song, baby. That's it. Pull in the power of Dolly Parton. She will empower you. What's that one and the other one too? Oh yeah. Is it the Harper Valley PTA one is so funny too. And then people telling you your shit. Like, hey, listen. I'm gonna throw it right back at you. Anyway, so Virgo, I just had to think I could do it again. Tumble out of bed and stumble in the kitchen, pour myself a cup of ambition, yawn and stretch and try to come alive. That's it, Virgo. All right. Anyone who doesn't know my channel is like, who the fuck is this? So, Virgo, we're going to do a reading for you, It's going to be open and intuitive. It should be interesting. I do think so. I'm going to start with my shamanic deck. I haven't picked it up in a dog's age and a half. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go into, no. There'll be none of that. We're going to push through it. We're going to find out what it is. If that's the problem, we're going to find it. Going to get some answers for you. Yeah, we're going to do, that's the Light Seers Tarot. And it is general. It may or may not resonate for you. Maybe completely different from what I've got coming in, like, intuitively for you right now that I'm channeling. If it does resonate and you're drawn to it, there is an extended at the end of this reading. The link to that is at the top of the description. Are you ready? Sexy Virgo. Oh, Dolly Parton is so sexy. That girl, oh, she's great. I love her. I could never do it. I could not pull that off, but she does it so well. So, Virgo, let's get started. I want some cards or a card for you. Virgo, sexy Virgo. Wouldn't it be funny if Dolly Parton was a Virgo? I have no idea what she is. So look that up. I don't know what she is. Virgo. Oh. Talk about now. Talk about later. Okay. First card that's coming out. You have the child, a very like intense sense of innocence here. Sort of like beginner's mind. I'm really getting beginner's mind. Highly intuitive. Very highly intuitive. There can be a sense of innocence though with the child. So there is cautionary energy around this for you right now. You might have beginner mind about something or to start something or a new concept of something or a new belief system in something. Beginner mind is beautiful. It's where all new things start. But because it is a child, there is a sense of innocence that comes with that. And then you have the Gatherer and the Hummingbird. Oh, the Hummingbird. The Hummingbird was really, really prominent in Leo's reading. But, okay, and I'm getting, it's so far it's a completely different message, but the energy of the Hummingbird is the same thing. It's like something trying to get to you, and look at, it's almost like you're gathering resources or you're gathering information about something that has to do with the beginner mind. So a new concept on something, a new approach on something, maybe a new way of seeing yourself or acting. I was kind of childish sort of this reading, so maybe that was part of it. Like, it's just like this really fun, let's just do this today and see what happens. But be careful. There's nothing here like a big major warning. Just like the best way to utilize this energy, if you're sort of like a fairly well-functioning adult, is to, just move forward, but still keep in mind some of the lessons that you've learned in life up to this point so far with whatever this new thing that you're involved in. And it's kind of like that page energy where, you're just exploring this. You're sort of just testing the water, dipping your toe into something as you get more familiar. But I think that you've already gathered quite a bit of resources. So I don't know if this is something new within something that you're already doing now, or you've kind of developed things as far as you can on some elements in your life, relationships, projects, and you need to grow and expand a little bit here. So you're trying something completely new. We'll see what the tarot tells us. But you've got like a good foundation here with the Gatherer. You've already put investment into things, and you've garnered those, like they've come in. You've got your payout on some level here. It's been very fruitful, something that you've been working on, or many different elements of your life are starting to pay off for you, and they're really coming in. But you're almost as if like you're riding a wave, which is interesting. Sagittarius had a reading like that a few weeks ago. Almost like ride this wave and keep it going. That's a little bit like this energy. But this hummingbird is something outside of you. So that's where this becomes kind of curious for me, because it's one thing to tell you your story. It kind of gives you some sort of confirmation as well about what's going on with you and of you and for you. But when we get something that's outside of you, so because the hummingbird does not seem to have anything to do with this. The hummingbird came out with the Gatherer. So the hummingbird is an energy that I'm associating with, it sees what you've created now. Hummingbird is very high vibrational, so it doesn't feel like it's, you should be worried about this, if someone's coming in to take something that you've created or grown or developed. Oh, what's at the bottom? Oh, the beloved, the curse. Oh, that's interesting. Oh my gosh, it's okay. Wow. I'm not sure how this connects, but that's my arm. Sorry, that's my arm. I'm not farting. That's my arm. I'm not sure how this can, I'm not feeling it in here yet. It could be sometimes I get different parts of your life. Like I can do the reading and all of a sudden other cards, so this is another part of your life. So it doesn't happen a lot, but it seems like it's happening right now. There's something underlying here. There's something like wanting to give love, emotion, friendship, or perhaps wanting to receive it. It feels more like wanting, no, somebody could hold, no. Okay, there's two ways that this is coming out for me. The way that I'm about to describe feels like it's the majority of you. Like I want to say at least 95%, if not more. It feels like maybe it has to do with the hummingbird, because the hummingbird is very high vibrational. This is something from the heart, something really, really beautiful here, but it can't be shared. The curse, it's almost like there's something bad associated with saying anything. So I kind of wonder if there's some sort of energy that sits between someone expressing something like of real meaning and love and emotion to you, and them being able to do it. Like their mouth is covered. They can't do it. They're not allowed to do it. It's inappropriate. It doesn't, like, it's not even feeling like, like distance. Like, well, there's just distance. You can communicate, but you can't see each other right now. This is really different. This is, and look at this. The 4 and the 1 make 5, and here's the 5. So it's really connected. Wanting to share feelings and emotions, but they cannot. This person or group or whatever it is, they cannot be shared. Emotions cannot be taken into this. It's completely, but it's almost like someone slapped a hand across the mouth. There could be some sort of cultural difference here. Some sort of socioeconomic difference. For some reason, it's not appropriate. Okay, before I thought about the underline, I wanted to pick up this deck and start getting busy with it. The child came out first, but actually what I want to go to is the Gatherer and the hummingbird, because, sorry, I'm just looking at numbers. It's interesting that the 2 and the 1 makes the 3. So I'm hearing that when I first picked up this deck, the 3 of Swords was at the bottom. So the 3. I'm hearing that the 3, it's almost as if you could be putting a lot of yourself into, what I'm getting here is 6 and 2 is 8, like work. There's a lot of you going into work right now. That came out funny. A lot of you are going off to work right now. I meant like a lot of your personal investment is going into work. Like practical things in your life. And it could be like how you're running a business or how much of yourself you're applying to where you work. But you're getting abundance there. So I want to say that this hummingbird is somehow associated with work, with the 8, and you got the 3. But doesn't she look a little bit melancholy? I mean, she kind of looks like really solid, but there's no like joy and happiness in her face. She's got all this abundance. It could almost be sort of like the 9 of Pentacles. Like you've really built something up here. You've got a great foundation. You're secure. You're looking fine, baby. You are a sexy Virgo. But there's something missing. And what's really interesting is that this is not allowed. This cannot be allowed. This expression of feeling and emotion cannot be allowed. And sorry, I didn't say. So the other message, the second message that I'm getting with this is that some of you have something that you would like to express and you're not allowed. Either way, there's love to be expressed. It's not allowed. Whose end that is on is going to be different for everyone. It's really interesting the way the numbers are playing for me here. So 7, the child. This is beginner mind. And 7, it's reminding me of the 7 of Pentacles. So trying to reassess something, figuring out, okay, I mean, I've gotten so far with the plan that I had in the past, but now I'm not getting any further with that. So I need to reassess and I need to think about a new plan here. Or how do I reapply things that I've already been doing, but in a different way? Funny, I'm talking about work, and I have that 9 to 5. It's all taken and no giving. Okay. I want to pull out, I'm going to pull, I sorry you can't see. I'm not in the kitchen anymore because my son's home for the summer and he wants to go in and out of the kitchen freely, which is acceptable. So I'm back up here. I do like my space. I just wish I could show more of the table. But anyway, so the gatherer. Oh, you have gathered. Okay, the hummingbird. The child. Child's got some good stuff. However you're reassessing is going to get you some good success here, baby. 5 of Pentacles is at the bottom. I noticed it in the split a couple of times when I was shoveling. When I was shoveling snow. That's funny. You know what? I was talking with my friend Russell from Rustling Around. And he really wants to come to Canada. So it's going to be kind of exciting because I know he's probably going to see me and Miss Remy and maybe some other people. But we're talking about the snow. So tell him how magical it is. He wants to come. I don't know. We'll have to see how things go. But just shoveling. So as I was shuffling, I saw this. There is some sense of being out in the cold. But I don't feel like... It just feels like maybe one element of your life or something in particular. But let's look at what we've got here. So with the gatherer, all of this, look at what you brought in here. All this wonderful abundance. The harvest, it's time to pull that in. That's represented by the moon, the 6 of Wands, and the 4 of Pentacles. This is like going into a field and planting the moon card, going into a field and planting a whole bunch of random seeds. I have no idea. I could be wasting my time with this. Oh my God, like me, you know, and it could be a little bit about like illusions and fears and fantasy. Is this just a dream? Is this a silly fantasy? Am I putting all my hopes in one silly little basket? Well, gosh darn, that came out pretty successful. I think I'll kind of hang on to that pretty tight for a little while. It's almost like you found, like somehow mysteriously or even utilizing your intuition, you've come across something. I want to say you did come across something because you're already showing up as the gatherer. So you came across something that had the potential to be really fruitful, but you really didn't know. And maybe it's something that nobody else has ever done or applied before. It could have been like utilizing this type of mind and it's gone through its full cycle and now you're appearing as the gatherer, as the harvester in this. It's brought you success, but now you're a little, you know, the 4 of Pentacles can be a little bit stubborn. So I don't know if perhaps you're not wanting to deviate from what you've already created too much, but I feel like there's inspiration sitting here If it's not to do something completely new, it's to apply something a little bit new to what you've already made. And yeah, that can be a little bit maybe nerve-wracking, because if you've got success here and you're hanging on to it like, oh, goodness gracious, I've planted random seeds in fields before and never anything came up. This time, this came up. I got to hang on to this. I've got to keep this healthy and fruitful. But you see, now the thing is, if you think about the gatherer, the seeds were planted in that field. They were harvested. Now you've got something to keep you going for a little bit, right? You've got something to keep you going for a little bit. But it seems to me it's probably real important to allow this child mind, this new thinking, this new approach to take seed, to get ready to plant. You don't necessarily, sorry, my ears are like plugged. You don't need to do anything right now, but think about the springtime. If our lives are always cyclical, and they very much are, as is the planet and everything around us, particularly if you live further from the equator where you're going to experience shifts in weather. You're going to have full-on different seasons. Well, this kind of does remind me of someone who's not so close to the equator. This is a season here of harvest. We've got all the sort of the autumn colors. It's time to bring a new approach to something. It's time to allow yourself to start thinking about that, because what are you going to plant in the spring? All this harvest, well, how long will it last you? You have to keep investing in whatever it is that you really do in life. You always do. Actually, really in everything. I was just having a conversation with my son about this today. With the dog. The dog doesn't seem to want to spend much time, Lily doesn't want to spend much time with him lately, because he's just so needy with her. I don't know, it's just a stage, I guess. Like, he's 11, so he's still working, like, anyways. Like, one day he's a little kid, and the next day I'm talking to like a 30-year-old man. But so I said to him, I said, well, you don't really give her scraps from the table, which is good, but you don't give her treats. You don't participate in feeding her. When you want her, it's when you want her. There's times when you're on your computer and she wants your attention, but you won't give it because you've chosen to do something else. And I said to him, I said, you have to realize that every single relationship you have in this life, you have built it with that person, with that individual, with that entity. You have created that relationship, whether you've done it consciously or subconsciously. So I'm pointing it out to you right now, maybe Virgo. Every single relationship, every single project, really everything you have in your life, you have built. You have invested in it in some way, on some level. And if that investment was somehow selfish, which I was pointing to him out, that, you know, it is kind of selfish, and the dog notices that. Like, well, he's not really interested in me unless he just specifically wants to snuggle and pulls me away from what I'm doing. So why would I want to spend any time with him? Right? It's very true. So I feel like I'm getting all mom on you right now. But yeah, you've got to keep investing yourself here. You can't just kind of rest on your laurels and think, well, I've made an accomplishment. That's great. That's fine. That's dandy. How long can I ride that? You've got to always keep investing in there, Virgo. Now, I'm not going to talk about the hummingbird yet, because that's an energy outside of you. Where I want to go is to the child. Because this is that energy, this is like that beginner mind trying to come in and say, hey, yeah, we need to change something a little bit here, or we need to create something new for ourselves, or we need to assess how we've been investing ourselves into relationships around us, into projects, into work, whatever that is. And what am I getting back from it? Right? Really, that's the way to look at the Seven of Pentacles. What am I really getting back from it? Have I been consciously aware of how I've been investing in it? There's some days I'm just kind of coasting. So I guess I'm just sort of subconsciously doing stuff. Yeah, those days are not always the best. But what I often find is the days that you're subconsciously investing and not consciously investing, you don't get the return right away. And that's where we usually get mistaken in how we're manifesting, because we think, well, I didn't really try hard today and everything just fell through for me. It was perfect. It's probably from energy that you put forward into that day from a few days before. So you can have like, you know, just a subconsciously working through my life day. And then a couple of days later, then you hit that day where you really do tumble out of bed. You stumble in the kitchen and you got to try to pour yourself that cup of ambition. So think about that. Really think about that, because there's something new. And look at the cycles of the moon, right? Something's been waxing and waning here, or something's been waxing and I think it's starting to wane. You've got the Queen of Pentacles. I just heard that somebody knows someone named Wayne, and yes, so I don't know if that was a question for you. I just heard that in my head. The Star, Queen of Pentacles, the Star, and the Nine of Cups. You think you have success now? Whatever this new wave is that you're kind of feeling, gosh, maybe it even has something to do with children. What was that coming through for? That was a message. I can't remember if it was in a YouTube or an extended though. Oh yeah, it was Leo in the YouTube reading. Like investing in the little things. Focusing on some of the little things in life. Because the little things too can be things that we're just subconsciously swimming through. Have you ever done, like even just driving to work, like if you've done it over and 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 over again. You can drive to work and you don't even remember how you got there. How did I get here? Like it's just, because you're just subconsciously doing it. Interesting message. So this child, I really, you know, I do see for some of you an investment in a child, because we have the Queen of Pentacles and the child. So the Queen of Pentacles is a very, very motherly and nurturing energy. Nurture your own inner child here. There could be some sort of internal dream that you haven't pursued yet. It's time to kind of adult it up and bring it up and forward and invest in it. Invest in yourself and create it and move it forward. Others of you, maybe you've been thinking about working with children. It's something that you would like to do. And some of you, maybe you're stuck working with children. And it's just funny, right? Because anything that we want to do for the first time is like, oh, this is great, this is wonderful. And then when you've done it for a long, 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 long time, you're like, oh my God. So you have the Star and the Nine of Cups. I feel like this is finding a dream. This is harnessing your dreams, like bringing them down from the cosmos, wrapping a lasso around it and bringing it in for yourself. It's going to bring you happiness. Look at this, Nine of Cups. Talk about emotional fulfillment. If y'all have been thinking about expanding a little bit on some idea that you've already created and developed and bringing like beginner mind into it, your outlook is very good. And I do want to say, like, I don't want to say that whatever you've created isn't going to continue to give you stability and abundance, but it's probably going to sit at the level that it's at. It's not going to grow, and it's not going to wax or wane. It's just going to sit there. And if you're, you know, if you're comfortable with that, you're comfortable with that. I'm just saying. So the hummingbird, that's the energy outside of you. It's really interesting. Oh my gosh. Okay, we have the Tower. We have the Queen of Swords. We have the Page of Wands. Look at this. This is literally like harnessing the power of the Dolly Parton. I don't know what this hummingbird is. I don't know if this is an energy that maybe you haven't hit the child mind yet, the beginner mind, this new creative idea. This could, okay, whatever's coming towards you, it could be a person. It could be just some sort of information conveyed to you on some level or by someone. And in that, it creates an idea of inspiration for you. However this is going to come to you, it literally feels like it's a Tower moment. So it's a massive shakeup. And with the Queen of Swords sitting right after the Tower moment, I feel like it's a massive shakeup in how you think about things. Like it almost has her like, look at pulling away, locking up your heart, and just thinking and contemplating. It's almost as if seeing something clearly in a new way for the first time and needing a hot minute to negotiate that thought process. The other thing that comes in with this is like something's getting cut out. I don't know what, but after, like, seeing this card, whatever you decide to cut out, what this Tower moment is, this is a sense of freedom and abandonment, like uninhibited expression. Just throwing the caution to the wind here. You know, it's funny. So, because this is the energy of, and it could be someone who's doing a 9 to 5. Maybe you are. Don't, you know, never do what anyone tells you to do in a general tarot reading. Really never do what anyone tells you to do in a private tarot reading. You got to make your own choices and decisions. That's the most important thing here. Because what I'm reading in the cards, I want to say, but I'm not, like, don't blame me if you did it and it didn't work. Because you're the only one that's responsible for your actions. So I'm just going to say. But this is the energy of someone who's been working a 9 to 5. And you have probably been showing up in ways that you do think outside of the box a little bit. And you've been bringing some good stuff into the work environment that you're in. You've been growing and developing it through your new ideas. You've been finding, like, I say new ideas because of the moon card. Like, these just feels like places that have not been explored before. Some other people might have been frightened to go in that direction or suggested to their boss or supervisor, whatever that could be. But you went into that sort of unknown period and you found success and you've been able to kind of hang on to it too with the 4 of Pentacles. But it's almost like getting to a point where feeling like, I feel like I could grow so much more than I am, than how I'm growing here. And this could be in a relationship with someone too. Like, it could be a friend group that you have. It could be a partner that you have. But just kind of realizing there's more that needs to be done here. I need to do more on a different level. And this is that inspiration hitting you. It could be just a person. It could be going to meet a few friends and you're overhearing a conversation about an opening somewhere, or maybe there's some sort of, there's a lot of, oh my gosh, actually there's all feminine energy. This entire reading, there isn't a single card with masculine energy. Like, that's so odd. So this has something to do with the feminine inside of you. It may even have something to do, because where I was going with this was, like, you may even hear something about funding for something for marginalized groups. Just thinking of, like, feminine. Look at 2. Could be something that comes from your heart that you haven't been able to express because you're working in a certain situation, or for, like, a business. You can't really take it where you want to take it with your heart. I am just hearing for some of you, and maybe even check, like, do a search online because sometimes they have, depending where you live, different government, whether it be like provincial, federal, or state, federal, whatever. Sometimes they will have different programs at any given time for, it could be people, like people who've just come out of university, young men and women, whatever. There could be projects for Black women, for Asian women, just women in general, just money to go to start a business. I just feel like there's something that you want to do. And there's the possibility of getting this, kind of this high vibrational information. And you thinking to yourself, gosh, damn it. The only thing that really is holding me back is that first $10,000 or whatever that you would need to invest to kind of start up with something. And then throwing that caution to the wind. It's almost like delivering that resignation letter. There you go, baby. I'm out of here. I'm going to go do my own thing. These cards over here with this beginner mind, they are so good. They really, really are good. I just, the reading's already been a bit, but I've been mostly singing throughout it. So I just want to clarify anything over here for you, because it all looks so fine and dandy, doesn't it? There's always got to be some sort of stumbling block. Maybe this is it too. I mean, with the 5 of Pentacles, maybe that's part of it where, you know, maybe you have worked somewhere or been with a friend group or a partner for such a long period of time that, yes, there's really, really good things ahead of you, but it's the initial feeling of kind of putting yourself out in the cold. The Queen of Pentacles, the Hanged Man. Well, that's curious. The Hanged Man and the Queen of Pentacles. The Knight of Cups. coming together. The Star. The Ace of Wands. The Three of Cups. The Nine of Cups. Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. It's really good. Okay. I got two with everything anyways. The Queen of Pentacles, we have the Hanged Man and the Knight of Cups. This kind of feels like you're coming from a place of like a lot of comfort and stability. You've built something up here. You know, you would, some people might even say you're foolish. You're foolish to go out on your own and do this. Like, come on, look what you have already, what you've created. But it's almost like, but what they don't see is that you kind of feel like you just sit here in a holding pattern and you really want to move forward with your heart. You can't speak from your heart. You can't utilize your heart wherever you are now. So you absolutely want to be able to do this. You want to come off hanging from the tree. Well, this is great, but I've been staring at this environment for the last 20 years or 10 years or whatever it might be. I want to move forward with my heart. The Star, harnessing your new beginning, harnessing really what you're dreaming about here. Positive energy again. You have this Ace of Wands. So your creative juices flowing big time. So much creativity coming out of here. So much inspiration and celebration. I feel like with the Three of Cups, if there's certain people that you would need down the road to help you with certain projects, you know how like everyone has something to offer. You may have really strong points in a few aspects of running a business, or even if it's leaving a partner. It's almost like to say who you need, what you need, that group will be there for you. You will get what you need. The universe will provide for you, whether it's a business and having the right people that are like, they've got cups too. They're celebrating. They're working with their heart center. They're working from that point to manifest. They've got the tools that you might not have so strong for yourself to help you move forward, or that you've got a support network. I would call it that. It's like a support network on whatever level that would fit for you. Now, the Nine of Cups, look at this. We have two repeats, but in different spots. We have the Moon and the Queen of Swords again. The Moon again and the Queen of Swords again. So it's a little bit like to say, hey, beginner mind, you always got to think back to when you started anything. You were always walking through the dark. The shadows, your fears were bigger than what they really ended up being, correct? Nothing ever worked out as badly as you thought it was going to. Just go forward. You really know. Go forward, and in the way that you saw really, really clearly here. That's part of this beginner mind, it seems like, for you with this Queen of Swords. And I always Virgo, because you guys are so analytical and problem solvers and really of the mind so much. So swords, I really do, like, feels very natural to me to have the Queen of Swords coming out for you like that. Like, there's some truth in this for yourself, more truth to discover that you're yet to discover with the Moon. The bottom is the Lovers, the Knight of Wands, the Six of Cups, the Ten of Cups, the Six of Wands. What the hell? This is good. You've got the Lovers, the Knight of Wands, the Six of Cups, turning into the Ten of Cups, turning into the Six of Wands, turning into more victory for you. Wow, exactly what you need. It's almost like waiting around the corner for you. How do you not get any bad cards in this reading? Well, except this. That's it. Well, I shouldn't say that, because this feels kind of suppressive. This is repressing you, suppressing you. There is definitely like some sort of partnership around the corner for you with the Lovers, the Six of Cups, and the Ten of Cups. Whether these are the people that you need to move forward in some sort of work project, or this is like a romantic connection, or the deepest of friends that you will ever find. It is around the corner for you on some sort of new adventure. And you're going to hit that victory again. Wow. Okay, dokey. I'm going to go and do the extended, my Virgos 9 to 5, and see what comes out. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.